What is important in spirituality is pure self-conviction. Had you ever seen any Guruji or Swamiji without a self-conviction? No. But you always find all students without any conviction. All students want clarity in their life given to them by their Guruji. Guruji never seeks clarity from anything else apart from his own intellectual reasoning or self. You never try to be Guruji. If you really love your father, see, small kids, they love their father and they wear the shoes of their father and they walk. Small young girls, they take the purse of their mother and they behave as if they are going to office or doing something because they imitate the mother and father because they are solely, totally engrossed in their own personality. Boys from the childhood are engrossed in that male personality. Girls from the childhood are engrossed in their own feminine. But we contemplate, we come here to be that universal fountainhead of cosmic conscious potential, but we never totally imbibe that. We just remain followers. That is the reason why I said, to a Guruji student comes enough together that they be called as being together, but they remain distant enough that they never imbibe or impart or induct anything in between. Student, you always want clarity from me. I always get clarity out of my own self. This gap always remains. You never try to get clarity on yourself. You will always be like this. All Gurujis have self-conviction. No Shishyaji is ever trying to develop self-conviction. Then when will the sadhak progress is the question. That is the reason why to create the thought churning process within you, to motivate you in the path, I ask these thought churning questions in a bold dynamic way, because bold dynamic way activates your mind. I talk in a sober fashion, your mind is in a resting pace. I talk in such a fashion where, how come he said this? Your mind is alert, active. That's a method, yes or no? Because people think that in soberness or losing yourself, the divine Godhead is found. That is very true. But the question is, if you have lost yourself totally, what is the use of finding Godhead? In meditation, I lose my mind absolutely. I go into a state of absolute tranquil nirvikalpa samadhi, where the mind absolutely ceases to exist. Very good. Then I have the universal Godhood of universal cosmic potential as me. If you are going into meditation and coming out of meditation, then that is not a high quality meditation. Remember that. I will ask you to come out in Bahyonmukha Chetanata. It doesn't mean you are coming out of meditation. Tomorrow you should be in meditation no matter what you do. If somebody comes to you and says all bad words in the world, at that very point when you are being ill-treated, you must be in a state of meditation and feel very happy about yourself. Then whatever he says, he says. एक बार भगवान बुद्ध के पास एक आदमी आया था और गाली दिया था। साईं बाबा को भी गाली दिए थे, भगवान बुद्ध को भी देते। दुनिया में अच्छे लोगों को गाली देने के लिए बहुत सारे लोग हैं और वो भी बहुत अच्छे होते हैं। तो भगवान बुद्ध के पास आके गाली दिया, भगवान बुद्ध शांत बैठा। फिर वो गाली देने वाला गाली दिया और चले गया। तो भगवान बुद्ध के शिष्य ने बोला, आप इतने शक्तिशाली हो, एक शाप दे दो तो उस आदमी को अकल आएगी ठिकाने। तो उसने बोला, उसने गाली दिया, मैंने गाली लिया नहीं है, तो किस हिसाब से शाप दूं? So that state you must achieve, or else there is no point in meditation. The goal, see, Bhagavan Buddha is our father, yes or no is our decision. If you don't consider him as your father, then I can't technically help you. But if you consider him, consider the divine avatara as your father, then you must definitely, the father's potential and the son's potential will never be differentiated. The son's potential is whatever the father's potential is. Because God has created all men out of his own mirror image. If that being so, if Buddha is the father, all his potential is our potential. And if he can behave like that, we also can. Let us aspire for it. You aspire for it and I will give you that promise. But you don't aspire for it and come out of meditation running out, then I cannot help you. My Guru promises, you meditate and I will make you my equal. And so is Atmananda promising you. You meditate and I will make you my equal. But if you meditate, if you don't meditate, that's your problem. And if you run out of meditation. Okay? Now you're feeling good? Tranquil? Now once more we will go into meditation. Because you are settling into a tranquil state in meditation. So I got you out and spoke all this. So that to disturb you again. The truth is, if I get you into tranquil state and keep you there for 5 hours, you will go out, again you will have normal life and you will have trouble again, disturbance, disharmony again. Here I want you to instantly take you to tranquility, get you to disturbance, get you to tranquility, get you to disturbance, so that you finally know how to get to tranquility even in disturbance. With the Guru that should be practiced. I think you are understanding the. Now you are in tranquil. At the time I asked you to open your eyes, all of you were in tranquil. You were tranquil. You are feeling the tranquility? You, sir. You are feeling or not feeling? Now with this talk, I disturbed a little bit. Now again we'll go to, again we'll disturb, again we'll tranquil. In that fashion, because until otherwise you fall and rise up, you don't know, you will never lose the fear of fall. Yes or no? Man came to me, please get me out of all fears. Then I said, from now if you want, if you really say so, I will create all kinds of troubles in the world for you. And he said, why so? I said, no fears. If you experience all sorts of trouble, then you will be say, I've seen all the worst, no problem. That is the best way to get out of troubles, seriously. Because until otherwise you fall down, you never know the value of ascent. Until otherwise you know the value of ascent, you would never retain it. Yes or no? So let us disturb us and then let us rise again to tranquility. Okay? Close your eyes.